Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Let's have a look. Okay, let's see what it's saying. Just bear with me 1 second. Am I running? Yes. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry, Doreen, I managed to cut you off. Hope you're back again. There you are. Hi. Right. Still first, Doreen. Still first. Right, let me just adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. Right. Let's hope that the technology plays ball tonight. Okay, so where are we? Yes, it's Monday. It's just after 8 o'clock. And it's time for Facebook Live again. It's the 2nd of October. Can you believe that? I don't know. I don't know where the time's going. Definitely autumn at the moment. Very autumnal weather. I'm quite glad that time's going fast. Actually, makes a change, Doreen. Yeah, I'm quite glad the time's going fast. My husband's due back from Jordan on the 13th of October, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're counting down the days. But the other reason I'm glad it's October is because there's some really, really exciting specials this month for you, which I'm just going to quickly go through before we get stuck into the card making. So this Saturday, which is the 7th of October, is World Card Making Day. So, you know, for us here at Stampin' Up, World Card Making Day is kind of our thing. So we've got an amazing special offer for between now and the 10th of October, which is 15% off selected stamp sets, off of our packs of our note cards and envelopes. Yeah. And also a special offer on our Fast Fuse adhesive. Now, forgive the quality of the printout here, but my printer is not working very well. But I've posted up I've put a post on the Facebook page that gives you all of the details of the different stamp sets that this covers. So I thought tonight what I'll do is I'll do some projects with some of the stamp sets that I've got. So the ones we're going to be working with tonight are, and you'll recognise these because I've used them before. There's the Daisy Delight stamp set. There's the Oh So Eclectic. And then there's the Colourful Seasons, which I just love. And then there's the Woodwards stamp set. So that's first. That's between now and the 10th of October. So don't hang about with that one. That's going to be gone by next Tuesday. Is that right? Yeah, because today's the 2nd. Alrighty. So that's offer number one. The second offer, which actually runs for the whole month, we do this every year. It's our Designer Series paper sale. So this is a great way to stock up on your Designer Series paper. So it's buy 3, get 1 free. So for every 3 packs of paper you order, you get to choose 1 for free. And most of our papers are actually included in this. Now you can't see them very well on this leaflet here, so I'll just quickly run through them in our catalogue. So pretty much all of them. We've got the Petal Garden, the Colour Theory, the Wood Texture, which you've seen me use before, which is really good. So these are our little 6x6 paper packs. And then of our 12x12s, we've got the, hi Anne, good to see you. We've got the Whole Lot of Lovely, which you've seen me use, and I'm going to use that tonight. We've got the Naturally Eclectic, the Coffee Break, Pick a Pattern. We've got the Be Merry, Birthday Memories, and Delightful Daisy. So basically everything except our speciality papers are included in this offer. So as I say, and also we've got 2 of the paper packs from the holiday catalogue. One which is the Painted Autumn Designer Series paper, which goes with the Painted Harvest set, which you've all seen me play with. And then we have the Christmas Around the World Designer Series paper. So as I say, a great way to stock up on your paper. We all love our pretty patterned paper. And again, I've just put a little post up on the Facebook page with that, or with all the details of that. So you can just go straight to my online store from there. And as I say, pick your paper. You can do both of them at the same time if you do it between now and the 10th of October. So it's great. Also, remember that during the month of October, we've got a new host code. So when you're placing your orders, use this code here. When you're placing your order, and that will qualify you for an extra thank you gift from me. When I get round to posting this up, oh look, I've got inky fingers already, look at that. When I get round to posting this up, I'll make sure that this host code is in the link for you, so you know what to do. Okay, so like I said, tonight what I'm going to do is the projects I've got are kind of using some of the stamp sets that are on offer. Who have we got? Charlotte. Hi Charlotte, good to see you. So the first one I want to show you, I'm not actually going to use it tonight, is the Woodwords, because I used it not that long ago. So you remember the week before last, we used it to make these two cards. So we used it to stamp the background here, and also the little stars and the thank you that goes on there. Okay. And then also, quite a while ago now, I made these two cards using this fantastic circle. I love it. Can you see? It just creates a really different looks, but you can't go wrong with stamping circles on stuff, can you? So that's really, really easy. So I just wanted to show you some examples of the kind of cards that I've made with this particular stamp set. Okay? So let's see, where should we go first? Let's start with the Colourful Seasons stamp set. So that's this one here. Now, as you know, I really, really, really like this particular stamp set. I think it's got some great images. It's designed to be used all year round. You can see it's been quite well used. It's got some nice sentiments, and you've got some like cherry blossoms, you've got some autumn leaves, which I've got some good ideas for, and you've got some nice snowflakes as well, and you've got your little deck chair for summer. So the card that we're going to be making tonight is really, really simple, which is this one here. And it's using the little branch and the little cherry blossom flowers. Okay, very straightforward. So this one is made using rose red, which is a colour I don't use very often. And actually, I think I should probably use it a bit more because I really, really like that one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up a little, and I'm going to use Elegant Eggplant instead, because that's another colour that I don't use a lot of. But before we do that, I just want to show you, again, like I said, you'll have seen these cards before with the leaves, and I like the little thinking of you sentiment that crops up on a lot of my cards. And here are the flowers that you can stamp out. And of course, there's the coordinating die set that goes with it as well. But it's the stamp set that's 15% off between now and the 10th of October. So let's get cracking on our stamping. Let's just bring this in. And we want some scrap paper. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment here. And we're going to do that using Early Espresso. Okay. Hi Lynn, good to see you. Good to have you with us. You didn't miss much. We're just about to get started on the first card, so perfect timing. Right, so first of all, let's stamp that in there. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to we need our flower image and our branch. So I'm going to use this bit for the branch, one of my bigger blocks for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the branch first. Okay, so no particular rhyme or reason to this, just fairly random, just so we get a good spread. And as you can see, I'm stamping off the edge just to get the different lengths. Whoops. And we'll do a full one in here. And then we'll do one coming up like this. Okay, so that's our branches. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here, but I'm going to give you a tip with lining up the images on the branches. Can you see you've got little gaps here in the branches, okay? And then on the stamp set, you've got full flowers here, and you've got little buds here. So the small buds go to the end of the branches, and then these flowers line up in the gap. So if I show you what I mean, if you take these three buds here, they line up against this branch here. So what you do is you just line it up, okay, and then all you do is you just turn your stamp around, and because it's photopolymer you can see right through it, and you can see then as the flowers, can you see as the flowers line up into the gaps where they're supposed to stamp? Okay, can you see that? You won't be able to see it as I stamp, but anyway. So let's just do that. So forgive me if my head gets in the way while I line this up. When you're trying to line your stamps up, it's important to get right over your stamped image so you can get it, see exactly where it's going to go. Okay, there we go. And again, with the photopolymer stamps, they're really good because you really can see exactly where you're going with it, and make sure you get it lined up nicely. There we are. That's it. And one more. There we go. Okay. So there we have that one. All right, let's put that over there. Close up my ink pad, and then we just get some glue, and we're just going to glue this onto a piece of elegant eggplant. So, like I said, I love using a matte the same color as the ink that I've got because it just really ties it together beautifully. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, so be careful not to smudge it, and then we're going to pop some dimensionals on the back. Okay, and as you can see, this is dead easy card. Really, really simple. Comes together really quickly. Incidentally, for the base, I've cut my cardstock. So I've taken a piece of A4 card and cut it the long ways, so I get this slightly different fold. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just pop that in the center, like so. And then I'm just going to finish it off with a bit of Wink of Stella on the flowers, just to give it a little bit of extra shimmer. There we go. Now you could, if you wanted, you could take your little could take your rhinestones and put some little diamantes in the centers of some of the flowers if you wanted, or pearls. You could add a little bit of ribbon if you wanted. Thanks, Lynn. So there we go. That came together in, what, less than 2 minutes, I think? So there we have it. We have the rose red, or we have the elegant eggplant. Can you see the shimmer on that? Which one do you like best? I thought when I first started stamping the purple one, I actually thought, oh, this is going to be way too dark. But you know, now that I look at it, I'm actually quite pleased with it. I think it looks quite nice. But let me know what you think. Let me know which is your favourite. But like I say, this particular stamp set is a favourite of mine, and it crops up all the time, particularly using it with the coordinating dies. So there we go. That is card number 1. So let's have a look. What should we do next? Right. I'm going to do another really simple one next. And this is just because, I don't know, rose red, red. Yeah. I think the rose red is a bit brighter, isn't it? Maybe the light's not showing off the purple too well. So yes, like I was saying earlier, we've got our designer series paper sale. And if you guys are anything like me, you buy your paper and you love it. And you love it so much that you're afraid to use it and you're afraid to cut into it. And you save it for special, right? Doreen, you like the purple one? Excellent. Yes, Charlotte, it would work if I did different colours. That's right, it's a really good idea. I might try that actually next time. But yes, like I said, if you're anything like me, you've got lots of patterned paper and it's all just way too pretty to use. So with this new designer series paper sale that's on, I have challenged myself to try and use my... Hi Bliss, good to see you. Glad you like the purple. Oh, it's a bit even now with the two. Interesting. Let's have a look, just checking the comments. So, like I said, I'm going to be trying over the next little while to use my designer series paper because, like I said, I love it. And this is a particular example. I really, really love this pattern and I had to really push myself to actually cut it up. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is, so this is from the Whole Lot of Lovely designer series paper pack. And I'm going to replicate it, but I'm going to use the Daisy Delight paper pack, which is also on offer, but I want to create something that's a little bit more masculine. So again, this one comes together really, really easily. And the other thing I wanted to show you is this great new punch that we've got, which is the Everyday Label punch. And I think this is brilliant for just doing for stamping your sentiments and cutting them out. So if you haven't got a die cut machine, or you don't want one, or you're just not into that, then this is great because the size of it just fits lots of different kinds of sentiments and things. So what I've got is just a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in basic black. This is from the Rose Wonder stamp set, which has got some lovely, lovely sentiments. I just love the font in this one. So I'm going to stamp it this way. There we go. And then just line it up. Make sure that's straight. There we go. Pop it out. Look at that. Sentiment panel done. Easy peasy. Alright. So now bringing back in our card, we've got a basic black card base. Okay, and then we've got, as I say, just a piece of the Daisy Delight designer series paper. So like that, you look at Daisy Delight and it looks, yeah, Lynn, I think it's probably all of us when it comes to paper. I'm the worst. I really am. Especially as quite a lot of the time I actually like to sort of stamp my backgrounds as well. So yeah, that's my challenge. Watch out over the next few weeks. Watch me use up my designer series paper. So yes, Daisy Delight is it's quite a feminine sort of pack, but you'll see this particular pattern here I think is quite masculine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of double-sided tape and I'm going to just make a strip across that at the bottom third like that. And I like to stick my ribbon down with double-sided tape because it keeps it nice and straight. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is just line it up on this side. Go, and then just stick it down at the back like so. All right, and then it's simply a case of glue on the back and then stick it down. So I could see this particular layout and stuff being really good if you've got a lot of cards to make. I could use up a lot of paper doing this particular layout. And then on the happy birthday I'm going to pop some dimensionals, and again because it's going over the ribbon, normally I'd put the dimensionals here and here, but I'm going to put them at the top and bottom so that they go either side, sit either side. Okay, there we go. And now I have a little bit of a dilemma because I don't know whether to use the coloured, these are from the Colour Theory Suite, dots, or whether to use my black rhinestones. Let me see, what shall I do? What shall I do? I think maybe a mix of both. So if I do a black one and a little green one, and then maybe a bigger green one up here with a little black one next to it, and then maybe a, what should we do? A little one down here maybe. Oh yeah, that's quite pretty. What do you think of that? Can you see those? I love these little enamel dots. They give such a really nice effect. So there we go. So we've got a very, very feminine card. On here I've just used our leaf punch and just punched out a little leaf using Old Olive cardstock, and the base is Early Espresso. Okay, and then here, as I say, very, very plain, very simple to do, but I think this would make a really nice mail card. So, yep, what do you think? Do you like the flowers or the stripes? Let's have the votes. Let's see which one wins. Okay, right, so there again, really, really, really easy card. Okay, I'm doing some easy cards first because the next two I've got a little bit more technique involved in them, so you'll enjoy those. So let me just clear some of this stuff away and make a bit of space. Okay, let's pop this back in here. There we go. Okay, so next up, what should we do next? Let's do some sponging next, okay? So the next card we're going to do is using the flowers. Thanks, Charlotte. I do love that pattern. Yeah, Bliss, I just like this designer series paper. I just really, really, really love. And it is one that I'm having a lot of trouble cutting into, so I shall be trying to use it a bit more. I just love the colours. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're feminine without being too girly. Yeah, all right, I think it's the flowers have got it. Yes, men's cards are hard. Men's cards are very hard. I find, generally speaking, with men's cards, to just keep them simple, and try and do something quite striking or graphic with them. Would look nice as wallpaper. What, the flowers or the stripes? The flowers. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's true. That'd make a lovely feature wall, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, lovely. And then you could do the other walls would be, imagine if you had the other walls were like this blue colour here. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Ooh. You're giving me ideas now, Bliss. You're giving me ideas. Right, so anyway, this card is using the Daisy Delight stamp set, which again is one of those that's on offer. And again, you'll have seen me use this before. This is using, it's got a coordinating punch with it. I love the thank you sentiment that comes with this. I think it's gorgeous. And of course, I make a lot of thank you cards for customer orders and things like that. So I'm always making thank you cards. And then we've got this one here, which is using this stamped image and punching it out, and again that gorgeous thank you. This is also from the Daisy Delight paper, the same pack as this, so you can see they're quite different. And then we've got this one, which is not stamping the big image but some of the smaller flowers in there. We made this at my open house earlier this year, so that's really, really pretty. But the one I'm going for tonight is, I can't actually claim credit for this one because this is actually inspired by one of the ladies at my card making class in Chertsey the other week. We were playing around with the Daisy Delight stamp set and we were actually making this card. And she decided to go completely off-piste with it, and she created a beautiful, beautiful card using just the leaf images here so that they look like kind of like feathers blowing in the wind, and I really, really like that. So I've taken inspiration from her and created this card here. And again, just talking about masculine cards, I think this would also make a really good masculine card. So let's get on with this. So we've got a smoky slate card base, just regular A4 cut in half, folded in half. Okay. And then we've got a piece of Night of Navy for our mat, which is just a 1/2 centimetre smaller all the way around. And then we're going to do some sponging on our piece of Whisper White. And the colours we're going to use are Basic Grey and Night of Navy. Okay, so let's get our sponges. So I'm going to start with the grey, because that's the slightly lighter colour. Let's get my paper. There we go, okay. And again, what we want to do, a sympathy card, Anne. Is that the one with the feathers? Do you know, I was thinking that as I'd finished it off, I was thinking it would make a good sympathy card. Quite right. In fact, I might do that because the set I've just used, this Rose Wonder set, has With Sympathy on it. So maybe I might do that. Let me have a think about that. Right, anyway, sponging. So like we said before, when you're sponging, it's best to start with a very light and gradually build your colour. So sponge off first and just gradually pull your colour onto your card. Remember, you can always add colour, but it's very hard to take it away. And you don't want harsh lines and stuff like that. So always circular motion, very light. Start your motion off away from your card and pull it on. And then we'll just work our way around on this one. And you know, this would work in a variety of colours as well. I really like the combination of the grey and the navy. I think it works really, really well. But similarly, you know, you could do this and you could stamp the leaves in different colours and they'd look kind of, it would look kind of autumnal, wouldn't it? So there we are. We're getting kind of the look sort of a stormy sky is what we're kind of going for. There we go. So that's the grey, and then we're going to come in with the navy. Now, what I would say to you is when you're sponging with navy, our navy is a really intense colour, so you just want to start with a very small amount, because you can see it goes on very. It would be easy to put it on far heavier than you actually want it. Like I've just done there. I've put on a bit more than I want, but hey ho. You can blend it a bit. I'll put some grey over it. There we go. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I want it slightly lighter in the center. All right, and do you know something? I'm a little bit suspicious when it comes to sympathy cards. I don't like doing them in advance, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to stick with the thank you on that one. Right, so we want to take our basic black. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment first, because then that gives me where I want to place my I was going to say feathers, because they look like feathers, but my leaves. Okay, so we'll just ink that up well, line it up, and then press it down. There we go. Okay, and then we've got the leaf comes as it's this two-step stamping. So what we've got is we've got the outline, which is this image here, and then we've got the infill, which is this image here. So I'm going to stamp the outline in black. And what I want to do is because I want to give the image that they're kind of, or the impression that they're sort of floating around in the air, is that I just want to stamp them in different directions, quite randomly. Okay, going up like that. just kind of framing the sentiment. There we go. So that's our black outline. And we're going to take our grey, and this grey is quite dark. If I stamp it, you'll see what I mean here. Oh, no, that's Night of Navy. I don't want my leaves in Night of Navy. I want them grey. So let's get my grey ink pad. All right. And you'll see that that's quite dark. I don't really want it as dark as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off. So that means just basically stamping it once, and then a second time just gives you a much lighter, more subtle image. And if I want a little bit more, I'll just can stamp it again. So I can build the colour up. And again, with the photopolymer, it's just so easy to see exactly where your image is. So you can line these two steps up. And quite a lot of our stamps are like this, where you got the two steps. So it gives you the option like that to create tone on tone stamping. There we go. But you see, I think if you looked at this stamp set and you saw this in the catalogue, you'd immediately be thinking kind of bright colours, feminine cards. But you can see that quite often with a little bit of thought and inspiration from somebody else, I might add, you can create something that really is quite different that you might not necessarily think of just by looking at the images in the catalogue. So that's why it's important to play around with these. And then obviously we need a little bit of sparkle on here, so we're going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella. Love my Wink of Stella. And then I wondered whether I should spritz this card or not. Do you like this one, Anne? Yeah. I do too. It's a little different to what I would normally do, but I'm quite enjoying it. Like I said, I just like the softness of it. Right, so I'm going to spritz this one and see how we go, just to give it a bit of extra texture. There we go. All right. Okay, can you see that? Just adds a little bit extra to it. And then it's very simply, just like the others, take our glue. Don't need a lot. If you put too much glue on the back of your card when you're sticking it down, you'll find that your card may warp, or you may have the glue bubble underneath. And with the Tombow glue, you really don't need a lot. Okay. And then again, same as the other card, just pop it up on some dimensionals. Go. Thanks, Lynn. It's just a really different look, and like I say, this is one of the things I love about my classes, is that I'll have a project ready and I'll have the materials there, and then the guys who are there, the ladies who are there, just get an idea in their mind, they get inspired and they go for it and they just come up with something beautiful, which is exactly what this is, which is why I've copied it. Which is one of the other great things in the card making world, is this idea of copying and sharing everything. Yes, Charlotte, our water-based inks dry pretty much instantly, so there's no faffing about like there would be if you were actually watercolouring and stuff like that. So it's great. So there we go. There's the two. So what do you guys think? Do you prefer the spritzing or the plain? Can you actually see that on the video? So this is the one that's spritzed. Can you see that? And then this is the one that's not. There we go. I think I prefer the spritz. Just got a little bit more interest in it. But again, could you imagine if you did this and then you stamped your leaves in like different reds and russets and autumn colours? It'd be really beautiful, wouldn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Right, so that's card number 3. We're whizzing through it, which is probably just as well, because the last card was going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to use some heat embossing for this one. So this one is coming on to the Oh So Eclectic stamp set, which again you've seen me use before. So I'm just going to show you, remind you of some of the projects that we've done with this one. Yes, Dorian, I think the spritz just adds a little extra touch to it. It's a bit nice. I love a bit of spritzing. Right, so a little while ago I shared this project with you, which was basically stamping the flower and the leaf, and then just spraying it with water to create this sort of watercoloured effect, and which I thought was really, really effective. It's fantastic. And then, if you remember, there was this one, which was the interesting cut card. But again, just here's the flower and the leaves, and this coordinating paper, which is also part of our. You like the plain, Lynn? Interesting. So yeah, this is part of the designer series paper. That's part of our buy 3 get 1 free offer. And then this one is one that we did at one of our classes. And basically we got out all my ink pads and we took this basic layout of a black layer on a white layer and stamped the image in 3 times in black, and then just experimented with different colours, and we created a whole plethora of cards. I don't know how many we got through, probably created 20 or 30 cards between us that night. So that's using this image here and then this one. Okay, but for tonight what we're going to do is we're going to make this card here. So this is using one of my favorite looks is actually white on our crumb cake base. I think it's really elegant and pretty and soft. And what we've done here is I've heat embossed the white, and then we just sponged the colours on top. So that's what we're going to do now. Again, see, this is why I don't use my designer series paper, because I keep making my own, basically, with our stamps. But let's get started on this one. So we've got a Whisper White card base, and again, just an A4 piece of card, cut in half, and then folded in half. Okay, we can put that aside for a minute, and then we're going to, let's do the heat embossing. So let me just get my bits and pieces together. Okay, so what you'll need for this, one of the most important elements when embossing is your embossing buddy, and that's basically a little bag of talc. And what that does is that removes all the static and oils and dirt and stuff, and make sure that when you put your embossing powder on your image, it only sticks to the image. It doesn't stick to other areas on the card. So, and then we've got our heat tool. I'll just plug that in. Okay, right. So we've got our Versamark ink. I use this one because it's easier to see, so that's why I use it for classes. So we'll start off simply by just running the embossing buddy over the cardstock to make sure that, say, you've got rid of grease, grime, static, anything that will make your powder cling to where you don't want it. And then the stamp image that we're going to use is the outline, this round outline flower. Okay, so all we're going to do is just randomly stamp this all over the card front. So you can see, because this is coloured, when you get the Versamark from our catalogue, it's clear. But I like to use this one so that you've got a chance at least of seeing it on the video. I don't know if you can or not. There you go. Okay, and then what I like to do is we just take a piece of A4 paper, fold it in half, and I'm going to pop my stamped image onto it there, and then take my embossing powder and just run it, and be generous with it, whack it on, just run it across and make sure it covers up the images, like so. Okay, there we go. I've just tipped the whole pot on, but don't worry about that. And then just gently tap it and wait till you see the image emerges. Can you see that? Alright, so just pop that down a second, and then all we do is just fold our paper up and then just pour it back into our tub. And there you have it. Remember to close your tub. Guess what happens if you don't do that? Okay, so then what we'll do is we need to heat set this, and what that does is it melts the powder and gives us a lovely shiny, can you see you've got like a shiny raised image there. Okay, so excuse the noise for a minute while I do this, but first thing I would say to you when using your heat tool is to warm it up before you bring it to your card. It just embosses a lot better when you do that. Okay, and then let's see if I can, and then as it heats up, you should be able to see the powder turn glossy. Can you see that? There we go. Hi Emma, good to have you on board. We have missed you. It's been an age. You've obviously been busy, but it's good to have you with us. Welcome back. Right, so here we go. You can see, sorry about all the noise, but there we go. So we've got some lovely raised images. Now you could just leave it like this. It's really pretty, but we're going to play with it a little bit more, and we're going to ink it up. So we're going to use Marina Mist, Sweet Sugar Plum, and Daffodil Delight. Yes, Anne, I know exactly what you mean. I still remember the first time I saw heat embossing done, and I was hooked. It was just magic to me, absolute magic. And even now, that moment, I'm just getting my sponges. That moment when it just starts to go and you see it turn is just brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so I'm going to use our sponge daubers, and then we're just going to ink it up. Now, quick tip for you when doing something like this is that in order to get a good sort of random mix of colours, what I like to do is I like to use at least 3, because that allows you to just mix them up and not have the same 2 colours next to one another. That's just me, okay? So what I've got here is our sponge daubers, and they're really handy. These will give a little bit more control than the sponges I was using earlier, and especially for something like this where I just want to do a centre. So I'm just going to make sure I don't get my sponges mixed up. So what I'm going to do is just take my sponge dauber and then just rub it in the center like that. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I'm just going to go around. I'm going to do this one, blue. Okay, and you can see that the ink doesn't stick to the where it's been embossed. So the technical term for that is emboss resist. But yeah, so what I want is it just dark in the center and then just softened out towards the edge, which I think gives a really, really, just a lovely soft effect. There we go. Okay, and the reason I'm doing not all one color and I'm doing them in turn is because like that I just want to make sure that I put them in such a way that like that I don't want the same color touching itself. So I just do them one at a time. So I put a yellow one here, which means a pink one will go up here. Go. And then we'll put a blue one in here. Oh, that's quite dark. Okay, and then pink one, I think. Now you can use these sponge daubers for doing the kind of inking I was doing earlier on, but you can see it gives you a more intense colour, and whereas I think the sponges are a little bit more diffused. So there we go, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You could do up a whole sheet of cardstock like that, couldn't you? And then just cut it up. Be like your own, like I said, like your own designer series paper. This is why I don't use my own, because I make it. Right, so let's close these up. And again, putting this together just comes together really, really quickly. The longest bit of this was the heat embossing. So we're going to take our ribbon, okay, which is our lemon lime twist ribbon, and we're just going to wrap that round from the back. Okay, trim it off. And then we're going to tie it. So let's just get that on there. Let's see if my bow works. Alrighty. Now, if you're not a bow person and you just can't get your bow to work, don't worry, you can just do a knot. It's absolutely fine. Okay. You always wondered how it was done. Now you know, Lynn. Have you got yourself a heat embossing tool? Or a heat gun even, which is the word for it. There we go. That's it. There we are. Okay. And then we'll just trim this off. Okay, and then a little tip for you. When you tied your bow on to the card like this, it tends to be a little bit loose sometimes, as you can see. So what I do is just get a little glue dot and just pop it at the back of the knot, and that just hold your bow in place where you want it. At least if you left it on the knot and didn't pick it up on your finger, it would. Let's try that again. I was wondering why it wouldn't stick, because it was on my finger and not the knot. There we go. Okay, and then for our little sentiment here, this is this one here, the Oh Hello Friend. That's that, and I'm just going to grab my little scrap. I've got one here. Not yet, Lou. Oh, add that to the Christmas wish list, I reckon. It's well worth investing in. But as I say, if you go down that route, make sure to get yourself an embossing buddy. Without it, it just doesn't work properly, and you'll be very disappointed. So, right. So we're just going to stamp this on here like so. Okay, and just trim the end like so, and then this side, I'll do a little bit longer. Alrighty, and then all I'm going to do is again with a glue dot here, just on the back. Birthday soon. Oh, birthday even better. You don't have to wait as long as Christmas. Right, there we go. And then I'm just going to pop that in underneath here like so. Okay. And then we get our dimensionals on the back. This punch here, no, Emma, unfortunately. But what you can do, let me show you, is there's another punch we have. I'll get it. Which is this one, which is called the triple banner punch. And how you would do it is like this. So you would take your strip and you would just feed it in. So that, can you see it popping out? All right, line it up and then just click and you get your tail. Could you see that? Was that? Yes, it was on. There we go. So it's the triple banner punch, does it? But yeah, unfortunately this one's retired. I just find it just a bit easier and a bit handier to use. But yes, unfortunately that's retired. Right, anyway, so our card base is here and we just pop this down. You're welcome, Emma. Right. But don't worry, when you come to my classes, I'll let you use it. Right. And then there we go. So let's clear some of this out of the way. So there we have it, our final, let's fix that bit, our final card. So let's bring in the other ones that we've made tonight. So we had me using up my designer series paper. We had this one. We had the colourful seasons in two different colours, elegant eggplant and rose red. And then we had, what was the other one we had? Ah, here, yes. We had the Daisy Delight, leaves masquerading as feathers. And then finally, this one here. So there we go. Let's try and get those. Can we get those in? There we are. So, do you have a favourite? Let me know which one you like, which one you prefer of all of them. Oh, should I move this down a little bit? There we go. Oh. And then just making sure, I've got a bit of a delay, so I want to make sure I've got them in shot for you so you can see. So yeah, let me know which one you prefer. As I say, these are using stamp sets that are on our 15% off offer, which is between now and the 10th of October. So this is the Oh So Eclectic, this is Daisy Delight, this is Colourful Seasons. There are a number of other stamp sets that are included with this 15% off offer. So there's a post, the leaf and feather cards, and thank you. But yeah, there's a post just below this one, which gives you all the details about the 15% off offer, which is between now and the, here we go. So we've got 15% off between now and the 10th of October. And then on the designer series paper, you've got buy 3, get 1 free, and that runs for all of October. And when you place your order, make sure to use the host code here to get an extra thank you gift from me. So it was lovely to craft with you guys again tonight. Thank you so much for joining me and joining in. I love seeing your comments and hearing what you think. Please do make sure to share this post. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm slowly trying to build things up and just get more followers and get more people interested. So please do share. Doreen, the blossom one, this one. Yeah, that's a really cool technique. It's really, really nice. I don't use it as often as I should. But yes, thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.